Hey y'all, and welcome to another Wedding Wednesday. I'm Jane Corley with Pic Visions, Media Arts and Photography. If it's your first time here, welcome! Make sure to like this video if you learned something new, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you can be notified every time a new video is uploaded every week. In this video, we're going to go over the second month of engagement priorities that you need to make. In our last video, we talked about questions to ask a wedding venue. Previously, we talked about the budget, your guest list, and making guest lists for all of your parties and soirees, as well as how to choose your wedding party and picking your date. So moving on from that, some other little tiny items that you need to be mindful of in the first month of your engagement are going to be more brainstorming. Start brainstorming about your florist, your music, your photographer and videographer if you're choosing to have one or both. You're going to start looking at dresses and attire, as well as introducing your families if you haven't done so already. Trust me, it's going to be better if they know each other and can help you out throughout your engagement period. The sooner they get to know each other, the better. I know it might be scary, but just have dinner or drinks or even just introduce them over Skype. Get them some sort of face-to-face contact or put them on the phone together, whatever you need to do to get them introduced and at least talking to each other. Also, the first month of engagement is a good time to start brainstorming about save the dates and researching your caterers. Because in the second month, save the dates and caterers, those are going to be more of a priority for you. So this brings us to the second month of your engagement. In the second month of your engagement period, you are going to finalize your wedding day guest list and your wedding reception guest list. The parties and in-between events, those are really flexible, and don't put too much stress on those items. Just get those lists together for whomever is going to be throwing those parties for you. Now just focus on the rehearsal dinner, your ceremony, and your wedding reception. Just those three events. Next thing is to pick out your theme and colors. Your theme and colors are going to dictate a lot of decisions that we're going to make later on down the road when we're talking about centerpieces and decor and just different tonal aspects to your event spaces. Your second month is also a really great opportunity for you to take engagement photos. If you've already spoken with a photographer, most photographers who are wedding photographers will include an engagement photo session in your photo package. So, to have photos for your save the dates or for your wedding website, having those photos during an engagement session during month 2 is a great plan. Next, you're going to want to book your catering tastings and your cake tastings. So have dinner and have dessert, y'all. Catering tastings, you can have 3 or 4 of those. Catering tastings are not always free, y'all. Not always free. So do your research about caterers who will give you some price points, caterers who will give you more options, caterers who will provide place settings and tablecloths and maybe even decor items. We'll go in our next video about questions that you need to ask your caterer, so I'll go into it further on that video. Next thing to consider in the second month of your engagement period is your florist. Your florist can be the same way you treat caterers and cake designers. You can have a few options and almost compete them against each other to see who's going to have the best ideas, who's going to be able to facilitate the best design aspects, and who's going to be the most flexible for what you want on your special day. Just do your research. Next thing to take into account on your second month is going to be your save the dates. Your save the dates, you will need to prioritize a little bit higher on this list if your engagement is going to be 6 to 8 months from now. Your save the dates need to go out 6 to 8 months, then your invitations and RSVPs are going to go out in month 4 and 3. Because you want people to be able to find places to stay, you want people to be able to make the accommodations that they need to make so that they can come and attend to your event. So if you can send out your save the dates between 6 and 8 months, you'll be good to go. Next thing to prioritize in the second month of your engagement is going to be the attire. You need to start thinking, especially if you're going to go to some high-end bridal shop or just a bridal distributor, something that you can't just pull off the shelf, something that you physically have to order. You need to go and get your dress planned, fitted, all that good stuff now. You can get alterations and all that good stuff after it comes in, but if you can get your dress sooner rather than later ordered, the better. Because my dress, it took 6 months to get my dress. 6 months, y'all. And it took me about 4 months to figure out what it was I exactly wanted. So the sooner you go and start trying on dresses and figuring out exactly what it is you want and the different vernacular terms you need to use for the bridal world, the better. Because if you can get it ordered in about the size you are and then get alterations to really fit your form and body, the better. Get it done sooner rather than later. Because if you get your dress 8 months before your wedding, it's going to take 4 to 6 months to come in. Then you're going to have to take it to an alterations to get it to fit you like a glove. And that might take a month or two. And then all of a sudden you're getting your wedding dress the week of your wedding. And that just can't happen, y'all. It just can't happen. You want to have your wedding dress in your possession at your mom's house, at your friend's house, just somewhere in your possession a month before your wedding. That way, if something happens and you have to take it for a last-minute alterations, you're not waiting to get it back from someplace or even get it delivered from where you ordered it from. So, sooner rather than later on looking for your dress. This also goes for men's tuxedos. If you need to take your groom to some tuxedo warehouse to get sized, sooner rather than later, because theirs, yes, doesn't take as long as a wedding dress does to come in, but they might need alterations. They may need to have their suit fit like a glove. So sooner rather than later when it comes to your attire, that way you have a little bit of wiggle room for anything that might come up a little bit later down the road. Like for instance, my husband wanted to have green suits. Now, I thought maybe leprechaun. Like that's what I was thinking, guys. Leprechaun. They were really cool. They were really elegant. It was exactly what he wanted. He wanted green suits, but I couldn't just run down to any normal distributor and get a green suit made that didn't look like a leprechaun. So we had to order them offline, custom. We had to find a distributor that would provide good quality suits that didn't look like costumes that were appropriate for our wedding. And that took time. I mean, we had to figure out how long was it going to take to get in? Was it going to fit? Was it going to be good quality? When you order online, you really don't know. So give enough time for your attire and start sooner rather than later, which makes it a great month 2 priority. Another topic is to start thinking about your music for your ceremony as well as your music for your reception. And if you're going to be hosting your own rehearsal dinner and you need music at that event, start thinking about that as well. Most of the music selections that you're going to make, you'll probably already have a pretty good vibe based on what's on your normal everyday playlists or soundtracks, but you need to couple both of your tastes and flavors together. And it's going to take some time to do that. Just make your list, y'all. Start your list and start the process. Next and final item is to start making plans for your bridal party attire. Start thinking about what you want your bridesmaids to wear. Do you want them all to be in the same color? Do you want them to be all in the same, pattern tones? Do you want your groomsmen to have all the same ties and socks and things of that nature? You just really need to be mindful that their stuff's going to take just as long as your stuff to come in. So start brainstorming those items during the second month of your engagement. In our next video, we'll talk about questions to ask caterers. So I hope this video was helpful on the items and themes to prioritize in the second month of your engagement period. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment box below. I'd love to read them and help you through your engagement process. Until next time, I'm Jane Corley with Pick Visions, Media Arts and Photography. Make sure to like this video if you learned something new, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so you can be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Until then, see you next time.